A stroll through Quincy leaves no doubt this city comes by its nickname, City of Presidents, honestly.
So John Adams, who was our second president, and his son, John Quincy Adams, who was our sixth president, they were actually born in Braintree, but Braintree became part of Quincy.
These are a few of the facts of Quincy's presidential pedigree you'll discover when you join guide Roberta Allison on the Quincy Presidential Food Tour.
Quincy is a city that is extremely rich in history and has some excellent restaurants. And my boss, who owns Off the Beaten Path Food Tours, I went to her and said, "Why is there not a food tour in Quincy?" And she goes, "Well, write it."
Challenge accepted.
I teach at Mass Bay Community College in Wellesley. I teach a course called tourism, and their final project is to write a food tour in their hometown.
So for this Quincy native, the teacher became the student.
What is the most interesting thing that you learned researching this tour?
John Quincy Adams was probably the smartest president that we've ever had. It is said that he has an IQ of 168.
That estimate would place him well within the top 1% of high scores, rumored to include Bill Gates and Lady Gaga. To be fair, these are just estimates. More easily verifiable are the facts about the nation's sixth president featured at the recently opened John Quincy Adams Park.
As we know, he was a one-term president, 1825 to 1829, and he is the only president to have been in the Senate, to have held the presidency, and to be in Congress. And he was in Congress after he was president.
Wow.
It was at his desk on the floor of the House of Representatives where John Quincy Adams suffered a stroke at age 80, dying 2 days later. A trip to Washington isn't necessary if you want to pay your respects. Both Adams presidents and their wives are laid to rest right here in Quincy at United First Parish Church.
And they're here.
They are here. They were originally over in the Hancock Cemetery right across the street, but the son did not feel it was fitting for his parents to be buried there, so they were moved over to the church, and that's where they rest now. So we have the crypts of John Adams and his wife Abigail, and John Quincy Adams and his wife Louisa, and the stars on the flags represent the number of states when they were president.
Hello, Mr. President, Madam First Lady. This is something else. I thought we were just eating food.
Well, it wouldn't be a food tour without a meal, so we head around the block to Kilroy's, a 5-star dive bar.
So what are we eating here?
We are having a wasp sandwich.
Oh.
The sandwiches on the menu are all named after ships. Quincy had a huge shipyard, Four River Shipyard.
A regular at Fore River was Ship Inspector James Kilroy. Kilroy would inspect rivets on World War II warships, leaving a check mark to show which were inspected.
But those that were installing the rivets would go and erase the check mark because they were paid by piecemeal, so they thought that they could be paid double.
To solve this issue, Kilroy created what many considered the first viral meme, a bald man peering over a wall with a note, "Kilroy was here."
The ships went out, and they didn't have time to erase all the Kilroy was here, so the soldiers would see it, and it would be like a little piece of America for them. There is one on the World War II Memorial. It has been said that it was written on the Statue of Liberty, maybe even the Arc de Triomphe.
For me, the tour ends with a sip of hard cider for a very particular reason.
John Adams drank a gill of hard cider every morning to help with his digestion. So cheers.
Cheers. This is a tasty presidential food tour, if I do say so myself.
Well, of course, Shayna mentioned it, but it's worth noting more again that the Quincy tomb at the United First Parish Church does hold the remains of 4 people. Abigail Adams famously wrote to her husband in 1776, "Remember the ladies." And so we do. Louisa Adams, First Lady to John Quincy Adams, was one of the first foreign-born First Ladies, a musician and a poet. And Abigail Adams was a constant advisor to John Adams and an early advocate for women's rights and education.